My people perish for lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. We are standing at a crossroads. The future of the financial system depends not only on policy decisions, but on public understanding and consent. Much of what governs money, debt, and taxation is misunderstood, often by design. The modern financial system, government debt, banking, and taxation, appears stable on the surface, yet it relies on continuous expansion of credit, rising debt, and compulsory participation. Confidence, more than fundamentals, is what keeps it functioning. Here's how the system actually works. The U.S. government is one of the world's largest debt issuers, yet it holds unique legal authority over the creation of U.S. dollars. In theory, it could fund spending directly. In practice, it chooses to issue treasury bonds and borrow through financial markets. When treasury bonds are issued, they are primarily purchased by banks and institutional investors. Commercial banks create the dollars used to buy these bonds through lending mechanisms, effectively expanding the money supply. In return, they receive interest-bearing, low-risk assets backed by taxpayers. Government spending then flows through defense contracts, entitlement programs, insurance systems, and asset managers, many of which are deeply intertwined with the financial sector. Interest on public debt continues to flow upward to bondholders, banks, and large investors. So why are taxes required if money can be created? Taxes do not primarily fund federal spending. Their core functions are to enforce demand for the dollar, since tax obligations must be paid in U.S. currency, to remove money from circulation, limiting inflation caused by ongoing deficit spending and credit expansion. Without taxation to absorb excess currency, inflation would accelerate much faster and more visibly. Globally, the dollar's role as the reserve currency extends this system beyond U.S. borders. Treasury securities are effectively America's largest export. Foreign governments and institutions accumulate dollars and reinvest them into U.S. debt, helping finance deficits and sustain demand for the currency. This same debt-driven structure repeats at every level. Individuals rely on credit to maintain living standards. Companies use debt and equity financing that often prioritizes financial extraction over long-term resilience. Governments roll old debt into new debt indefinitely. The system depends on perpetual growth in borrowing. New debt must continually service old debt. If expansion slows, confidence weakens, interest rates rise, and defaults spread. This is not accidental. It is a system shaped by legal frameworks, institutional incentives, and widespread misunderstanding. The costs are borne quietly through inflation, rising taxes that service interest rather than public goods, and periodic bailouts when instability threatens the system itself. Such systems persist only as long as participation continues and belief remains intact. When financial power concentrates without transparency or accountability, democratic systems weaken. When laws serve extraction rather than justice, citizens lose sovereignty. History shows that freedom erodes not only through force, but through apathy and complexity. The greatest risk is not corruption alone, but informed people choosing inaction.